Hey there, this is Gleb, and I'm gonna continue working with Cypress Wordle. And today, I wanna show you how to create page objects the way I like doing them. Well, let's take one of the specs, let's say this one, that solves it starting with a given word. In this case, the word is start. So what do we do with a page? Well, notice when we run the test at first, we have to close the dialog. Then we have to enter the words and then we have to close the dialog and maybe email of a solution. Now, these are all page operations, right? We're not going to modify the logic of solution. We're just going to modify the way we interact with closed dialog at the beginning, with the board, with close and close the dialog at the end. So right now, let's start the spec. Here's an example, right? So we visit a page and then we close by pressing this icon close, right? Now the selector is a little bit hairy. We don't want to remember it. We don't want to update multiple tests if it changes. So this is where I'll create a file called pages, let's say, and I'll create export const, as a start. And I like creating separate pages because they are ultimately describe different stages of my application. So at the start, let's say close, and we'll put this particular command chain right here in the method, and let's return it so that we can chain further. Okay, well, that looks nice. Instead of doing this, we're gonna import start from pages. And just so we don't see those pages under our specs, let's go to Cypress JSON and let's exclude pages JavaScript file from the list of specs. So it gets ignored. So now it's not there. And from our spec right now, we'll say pages, I guess, start, close. All right. Now, one thing you might notice is, I'm just moving the code around. This is just JavaScript. It's not a big change. I literally just refactored in a way that it makes more sense, when you read multiple specs so that you don't have to understand the logic of a page structure. Silent is not defined because I use silent right here, so we can use it right. Okay, well, now we're using page object. If you want to create custom commands here, you probably could. I think it's overhead, but one thing you want to do is hiding the initial model. Okay, if you want more clarity, you can add scilog and describe the operations you're about to perform on the page. Okay, when we solve, we want to close that dialog as well. So let's look at that code. Where is it? It's right here. And we're gonna take this code, go into pages, export, const solved, close. And again, like we're using the same method name because it makes sense to name it that way because it's closing the dialog. We can add, for example, closing the solve dialog. Okay, we can add JSDocs. Let's import this page right here and we'll say close. Okay. So now if we need to modify the structure of a page in that particular dialog, we can modify it and then just update a single page object in a single place and be done. Okay, so this is how I would take my JavaScript code in my Cypress test and refactor it so that I can reuse pieces of those commands in a single place called pages right here.